Hello, Ruben here, and welcome to the 50th Samplecast. Okay, cut it, enough of that nonsense. This is the last show before my little break. I'll be away for a few weeks, and don't forget about me. I'll be releasing a few videos over those weeks, some compilations and things like that. I've been putting together recently some free VST videos of all the freebies over the last few months. So do check out those. There's a playlist and I'll be releasing a couple more of those shortly as well. In this week's show, we've got news, bargains, a progress report, some more freebies. But first, a fantastic competition to win one of 50 sample libraries. This week's competition is very special, and in celebration of our 50th show, I've got a fantastic giveaway for Samplecast viewers and listeners. We're throwing out there a free sample library for every edition of the show so far. So that's right, the prize pool is 50 sample libraries for 50 different winners. And as we're in a celebratory mood, what better library to give away than SONOKINETIC's bells and whistles? Thank you, SONOKINETIC. I'll wear your t-shirt just for that. Thanks to their generosity, SONOKINETIC are going to hook up 50 lucky Samplecast fans with a copy of this cartoon effects library. It's perfect for scoring comedy, animation and video games, and it's almost 1.5 gigs of samples, including whistles, rattles, sirens, percussions, animal effects, shakers and loads more. So it's really fun. For your chance to win one of these 50 copies, just head over to the Samplecast website and sign up to the Samplecast newsletter, where I occasionally send out news, deals, freebies, tutorial information and other good stuff from the show. Don't worry, I won't spam you, that's really not our style over here. If you've already signed up to the newsletter, don't worry, you'll automatically be entered into the draw, and winners will be announced on Monday the 24th of July 2017. So good luck, do head over to the Samplecast website, sign up to the newsletter, and thank you again to SONOKINETIC. You're great. So let's get on with the news, and our first release is Sinfonia drums from Audio Imperia. This is a new release and it's almost their polar opposite from a previous library that they've done called Decimated drums. Now this runs in the full version of Contact 5.5.2 and above, and it's over 10 gigabytes of samples with 28 different Contact patches. The recordings here are mainly focused on orchestral percussion with both traditional recording techniques and also designed patches such as low impacts, atmospheres and other sound design elements too. You've got 9 microphone positions here that have been recorded, so there should be lots of options for integrating these drums into your own projects. Sinfonia drums is normally $200, it's currently intro discounted to $150, but you can also get an additional 10% off by following the special Samplecast link in the show notes. Do click that for the discount and have a look at Sinfonia drums. Next up, Virology 2, and this is for those that love the idea of a virus synth but can't really afford one or haven't got the space. This new library could be for you. It runs in the full version of Contact 5.51 and above and contains 400 patches at 3.4 gigabytes in size. The interface includes 30 different types of filters, there's 2 independent LFOs and loads of other controls on there for modulation and effects. There's also a free demo of 10 patches available via the Pink Noise Studios website, so you can play with the interface yourself, see if you like it. Do check it out now. Next up, it's a new piano, the London Boyd 1920s upright from Sonixinema. This runs in the full version of Contact 5.6.6 and above, and it's about 4.5 gigabytes uncompressed. You've got 3 different microphone positions here with 16 different presets and rather a lot of options on board. Now the piano itself does sound pretty lovely from the demos and video walkthroughs, but there's also a lot of options on board. You've got an effects engine, a main interface as well for mixing the different microphone positions, and you've also got an output engine with stereo spread, equalizer and compression settings on there too. Nothing groundbreaking, it's just a lovely sounding piano. Do check it out at the Sonixinema website. Century Solo Brass next from 8DO, and 8DO are at it again. Yes, they're releasing beta products for consumer consumption, which personally I'm not a fan of, but I don't suppose too many other people will be that upset, as Century Solo Brass does sound pretty great, and I'm sure that loads of people are itching to get their hands on it early.
You're not to approve of your methods.
So this collection contains solo horn, you've got trumpet here, flugelhorn as well, trombone, bass trombone, cimbasso and tuba, and that's 121 gigabytes of uncompressed samples, so it's huge. They've also included 4 different microphone positions, and it runs in the full version of Contact 5.5 and above. They've got tons of different articulations here, including mute instruments as well. You've also got dozens of different shorts, dynamic legato, there's trills in there, double and triple tonguing and more as well. And they've done loads of YouTube videos showing off the individual instruments, so you can check those out at the 8DO site. Do have a look and jump on that beta if you fancy it. Some nice freebies this week, and the first one you'll have to jump on sharpish because it's not available for much longer. It's only free for the next couple of weeks, and this is The Punch by Audio Assault, which runs in both Mac and Windows. The Audio Assault website is pretty cryptic about what the plugin actually does, but to me it sounds like it's a combination of saturation, excitement, compression, maybe a little bit of transient shaping possibly. Do try it for yourself for free until the 10th of July 2017. This is a rather nice free library courtesy of the producer store. It's Angel's Harp. So it's around 660 megabytes in size and samples harp tones with 4 different velocity layers. It runs only in the full version of Contact, just be aware of that, but you can check it out in the link in the show notes for the download information and more about the producer store. This week's big review is Ensemblia 2 from Cinematique Instruments. This is a new percussion instrument from them, running in Contact 5 player and the full version 2. It's 1.3 gigabytes compressed and contains 25 snares, 24 big drums, 27 toms and ethnic drums too. You've also got 29 cymbals, 15 shaker gongs and singing bowls, and all of these are acoustic, and you've got synth drums in there as well. There's a real mixed bag here at over 200 instruments. Also, if you purchase this quickly, within the next couple of weeks, you'll get a bonus set of percussion instruments called The Kitchen. I've tried that, it's a nice little extra. So let's get onto the interface first, and here's the basic information. There are 4 main interface pages. The first is a sequencer section with 7 tracks to load different instruments. On the mixer page, you can change, mix and edit those sounds either individually or via some mastering controls. So you've got individual control over level, panning, tuning, sample length, EQ, envelope, reverb and delay. The third page is for loading preset kits and patterns in a wide variety of genres, and the last page is for supplementary controls such as assigning particular effects to the red key switches and for also rerouting the audio via different outputs. So let's first have a listen to the preset patterns, some of those, and some of the different kits as well. I'll also change a few of the mixing settings for the individual drum sounds so that you can hear how that works. I do also want to show you the sequencer in action and how you can change each segment to different divisions, including triplets and other variations. So let's get on to my specific opinions and takes on various aspects of the library. This is a really versatile engine, I think, and the sequencer options are ingenious here, especially being able to change the divisions of each tuplet and easily add swing. That's super easy. One thing I didn't mention yet is that you can actually have 4 completely different kits and patterns loaded and switch them with the lower key switches on the fly. That's very useful. You can also trigger each percussion sound individually with the green key switches. You can switch to half and double time too with the blue ones, and you can drop in effects on the fly with the red key switches at the top. This is all very flexible stuff and really reveals that the Cinematique team have tried to keep options open for people who prefer to use Ensemblia 2 in different ways. Now, the range of preset sounds here and riffs is extensive, although I wouldn't exactly call some of them the most up-to-date sounds. Especially the more dance and urban kits, I thought these sounded a little bit dated, to be honest. The interface is pretty drab looking, but it is clean and tidy, and I could pretty much tell without looking at the manual most of the time what the controls do. However, I would say if you're a newcomer to Contact Instruments, you might get a bit unstuck. I did have to open up the manual a few times to explain some of the key switches and also how to edit single drum hits. Maybe that's just me, but it's something I did need to check. So let me talk about the sounds themselves for a moment. Now, I can't help feel that Ensemblia 2 is trying to be a jack of all genres with its mix of organic and electronic, world and acoustic percussion. Perhaps they should have made some smaller and cheaper libraries split into these different musical genres. That's just a thought. Maybe as a result of this breadth of content and different styles, the samples themselves do come across a little bit as capable, but they're not really exciting. If I were using them in a project, I'd probably use some transient shaping, some compression, and maybe some saturation to bring them out of their shells a little bit. Some of the drum hits here I did find a little bit tame sounding, to be honest, and I can definitely see that I'd have to use some effects on them to push them up into the mix. There are many other features of Ensemblia 2 percussion that I did find useful. I'd have to say that the easy mapping of velocity to the mod wheel and the simple way that you can change the overall velocity in the sequencer did come top of my list. I also love the tryout mode where you can flick through the different drums. You can use your own patterns before you commit to choosing one. I want to also mention that there are separate playable NKI drum patches if you fancy auditioning the sounds or using Ensemblia 2 in a more standard way. So in conclusion, would I recommend Ensemblia 2? Well, yes, probably, but specifically for people who do want to easily mix traditional drum sounds with interesting glitchy effects and world percussion all together in one sequencer. However, don't forget that you'll probably have to do some external processing to get those drums mix ready. If you're looking for a particular genre of percussion, you'd probably be better off looking at alternative libraries dedicated specifically to that type of music. As it stands, Ensemblia 2 is a drum sequencing oddity that I had a lot of fun with, don't get me wrong, but personally I don't think I'd get a huge amount out of it. Do check Ensemblia 2 for yourself at the Cinematique Instruments website and let me know what you think in the comments for the video below. VST Buzz are going all out this week with their discount on this polyphonic virtual subtractive synth. It's called DRC Synth and it's great for leads, pads and other analog style sounds. It's got 300 presets out of the box and runs as a plugin on Mac and Windows, but also on Android and iOS devices. So what you've got here is an instrument that stores presets in the cloud, so you can fiddle with the synth on your iPad or on your Android tablet and then store those presets to the cloud, and they're cross-compatible. You can load them back into your template once you get home. So this is currently 60% off at €34.99. Do click the link in the show notes for the full details. Next up, Cyclone Master Compressor from SoundSpot. Now, after their very successful release of Halcyon a couple of months ago, SoundSpot are back with a new plugin. This time it's a master compressor for Mac and PC. As well as all the usual compression settings, you've also got onboard parallel processing and saturation, which makes this a really useful all-in-one master compressor. SoundSpot got me on board to produce the video, so do check out my walkthrough of that. And the plugin is on half price offer at the moment of $37.50. Plus, if you happen to pick up Halcyon a few weeks ago, you can also bring the price of Cyclone down by about 80%, which is pretty much a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned. do head to the link in the show description for all the full information. This brand new bundle deal from Audio Plugin Deals is a huge saving. It combines Epic Sound Lab's 4 Kontakt instruments and 2 modules for Reaktor in just one package. The Kontakt content here is focused on percussion and rhythmic loops for TV, game and film composers, plus there's an 8-layer soundscape creator chucked in too. Now, I don't have Reaktor, so I haven't tried out those instruments, but the Kontakt ones are pretty good. In total, there's over 10 gigabytes of content here, and it's currently 79% off at just $99. Do check the bundle out in the show notes link. I'm going to leave you with just one progress report, an upcoming product that will be out soon-ish, but probably not before I get back from our holidays, but I thought I'd cover it anyway. It's Hollywood Choirs from EastWest. So what do we know about this so far? Well, apparently it will be available in the autumn and will basically replace the old symphonic choirs functionality. It's got a word builder on there, and it'll allow composers to construct any word or phrase by typing in what you want the choirs to sing. It'll also feature a huge 13 different microphone positions. Now, I haven't heard any word on this, whether there'll be a lighter version or if there's a new Play Engine update involved to bring Hollywood choirs to life, but we'll soon see about that, I guess. Personally, I'm quite excited, and I'll be keeping an eye on the EastWest website for more information. Thanks so much for watching the show. Don't forget to head over to the Samplecast website, click on the newsletter link, sign up, and you could win bells and whistles by SONOKINETIC. It's our biggest competition to date, and I'd love for you guys to be able to get a hold of it. I'll be back again in a few weeks. In the meantime, I'll be releasing a few videos. You can also check out back issues of the Samplecast, and of course the Samplecast podcast as well, which goes hand in hand with this show. And I shall see you soon. Have a good summer.